For this CMA report, we're going to kind of go through the exercise. If a buyer sends you a house and loves it and they want to write an offer and they want to see, do we feel like it's fairly priced or should they offer above or below? So I've just kind of gone to the hot sheet of today, and this is a new active listing. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you kind of how I would go through this if I was trying to look at the area to see if it's a good value. And of course, when you're talking to your client, if they love it and this is exactly what they've been looking for and it's day one on market, then all those things certainly factor in as far as their purchase price. But just running a comp on it, what I would do is open a new tab so that I can have the listing side by side so I know the square footage and all of those different things as I'm looking at what the area compares. So I'm going to pull up a new tab and I'm going to go to quick search. Then the first thing I'm going to narrow it down on is the zip code. So that's what I typically go to first, just so that you can try and get it down from quite so many listings. So we're at 40217. And then I like to go to the maps and see exactly where it is so that I could narrow it down even more. Okay, so right below Eastern Parkway. So what I typically do is I'm going to draw a polygon just around this. So I use this tool down here is the one that I typically use, and again, there are lots of different ways to do this, but I'm just going to start drawing kind of a bracket here. And then I want to see not just the active, but I want to see all of them just to get an idea of what closes in the area, what sits for a while. So this is kind of a lot. So let's see here if we can narrow it down some more. So square footage, we have a finished basement. Above grade, we probably won't want to compare it above 17, 1800. And then below 1300. So we can say basement. We could say it has to have a basement to compare it to, because you see that this one does have a finished basement. So if we want to make sure that it shows us only properties with basements, we can say not of none. So if it doesn't have a basement, don't show it to us, is basically what we're saying there. So this gets us 22. This is really the area we're looking for, but sometimes I go a little around that just to see in case we didn't get a lot of results. And then just looking through at the pictures, let's try to kind of here in the middle, but you can see that's kind of a loft. This has been upgraded, nice bathroom, shower. So you can kind of see the finishings. Let's go back to the front. So the outside, it's got some curb appeal, hardwood floors, fireplace, kitchen has granite. So all of those different features are going to be something that you want to think through when you're looking at your comps. So let's go to these results and just filter them. I'm going to filter this by price. I'm going to go to kind of descending order to see the highest price in the area up top. So you can see right away that this is one of the higher priced in the area. A lot are, still similar. We were kind of looking here, 175 to 240. Not a huge difference, but just something that you want to pay attention to if you're at the very bottom of the price or the very top, just something to note. So let's look at this one that sold in 2 days. That's important to note. They closed at 240. Hardwood floors. Bathroom was more outdated. Kitchen is updated, kind of the same loft area. So that's a good comp there. We do want to keep the one that we're looking at in our selected just so we can see that compared to the other ones. This one's at 230. Fireplace, hardwood floors. All these have kind of a similar feel. And nice kitchen, backsplash. See, all of these feel pretty similar. That shower looks like it's been updated. So you're just kind of using your own discretion here as far as updates. And again, a lot of it depends on your person's style. Always remember that comps are a combination of, right, it's the analytical side of things, the price per square foot and all these different things, but then it's also the emotional side of things. Do they like this kitchen better than this kitchen? Do they prefer a screened-in back porch? Do they like this area? And it's worth paying a little more. So all of those things are something that you want to help your clients factor in. Not everyone just goes for the price per square footage. Some people have different tastes. So this one is a 1,500 square feet. Go back and remember what we're at. Yeah, we're at the same. Except for it's an unfinished basement for $224,650. Hardwood floors, fireplace, all of it, still a similar feel. Nice kitchen. So I would say all of these are very comparable. So I'm going to click these 4, and then let's run a CMA report to compare them. So for the CMA report, since this is an active listing, we don't need this one in there. So let's just take the 3, and then we're going to do CMA, use selected. So I'm going to show you how to do the full CMA. This is a really great feature. So if you go to next steps, it's going to filter in the title. When I do the 4, I just say the name of the street. I'm going to copy and paste that. And then let's go to next. So here, instead of typing in the address, you can auto-populate from an existing listing. So go back to that listing and copy and paste the list number. And then it's going to plug everything in for you, which is really nice. I just clicked through because these are just kind of showing you all the stats that will be on the same page. So this is kind of giving you the high end, the low end. This is what the CMA recommends is just an average. So really what I do a lot of times is I will not show my client the listing price because then they get that in their brain. You can email this, save it, download it, but I'm just going to view it so we can see it. It's got the picture of the house. This is just a nice way to show your clients that you're doing your due diligence. We're looking, you can see here, all of them are within a half a mile from the subject property, which is good. And then we can look here all together. So you see here that some of them have 1.5 baths, 1.5 baths, and you can see that 2-bathroom one ended up closing at $230. The one that with the more upgrades was $240, and it was 2.5 baths. So really and truly, with this having very similar upgrades, you know, is the list price of $239.9. It's probably pretty close in my opinion. Just looking at that. So they've got price per square foot down here. So it is on the high end, but kind of middle of the road. And then this just shows your people all of the different status of the closed listings. They can look at all the details of the specs, and again, it's always good to email your client these actual pictures, so when they're looking through, they can say, oh yes, these upgrades are similar, has a similar feel, but those are 3 pretty good comps for that house. And then again, ultimately let your client decide if, you know, what they would want to offer, but at least you're giving them something to base off of just looking at the area. So that is just another way to run some comps and to create a really nice report.